Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for clicking the video. It means a lot to you guys keep clicking. If you guys keep clicking, I'll keep making. We're back for our predictions and power rankings podcast. I love doing this on the weekends. It feels like a nice break from the heavy load that I could carry during the week doing daily content. What is your guys' thoughts on the season now that you had 3 days to kind of reflect on the season?
I mean, you can actually find out my thoughts of the season. My news video coming out. No, it's
at the end.
yeah,
At
no,
the end,
it's
I got you.
it's mid right now. It's just mid, like that. Like
Yeah,
it's not like
mid.
super terrible, but
Yeah,
they're like, if you're not gonna risk a season being like terrible, like you're just
yeah.
gonna
They're
like
they're
make sure
really
it's
going for
really
a
mid.
top 25 season here. Just
Yeah,
right at
really
25 or
shooting for the
30.
ceiling, guys, right now. So
Like
yeah, like
no bottom 10,
all
no
the
bottom 10.
characters
That's
are
it.
very cookie cutter archetypes. So yeah, it's just kind
Yeah.
of mid right now.
No, it isn't even that. Like if the characters fit in archetypes, I'd be happy. They're literally just like two characters, and everybody else is just a
Yeah.
person, like just an NPC walking around. And
Exactly.
that's
They're
the
like the
issue.
most like basic form I'm saying of like
Yeah,
archetypes from Survivor.
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, it is like just like
They
we
are,
got nothing from. I'm gonna pick a random person like Cassidy. We got one confessional. And it was about a woman's alliance. I felt like even though maybe I'm just remembering wrong, I feel like we got much more during the specifically the 42 premiere. Even though there was there was two people who went home, even though one got evacuated. We still got more development as far as the characters last season, and I feel like this season we did not get as much.
yeah, I agree with that.
I've lightened up a little bit on it just because I do think that Cody and Sammy have a lot of potential to be very, very good characters, and I'm sure someone else will pop out. So I've that's given me like a little bit more hope. I guess I'm not as negative as I was when I first watched it, but I'm still pretty down. I'd say right now, like if we're just like ranking based off how much I think or how good I think the season's going to be, it's looking to shape up like maybe a 25th place, maybe 30th. I don't know.
Yeah.
It really feels like they're just aiming to not be bottom like 8. You know what I mean? Like no bottom 10 season. You know what I mean? And that's not how you make Survivor.
Yeah. I mean, I never thought I would say I would be happy for a premiere to be like 1 hour over 2 hours. I think if they just cut out all that boring, my
sob
my
stories.
sad life, it would
Yeah.
actually have been a better episode.
I think it's an average episode without that. Nothing horrible happened or whatever, and it wasn't like mind-numbingly boring, except for the times when they're talking about how their whole family burned down in the fire and then came back to life and then died in life support. Like I don't care. I'm sorry. I just don't
They could have just made
about
it like a 2 vote out, premiere.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone would mad at that.
Or that, because then they have to cut out those sob stories to make up for a whole extra tribe, both their strategizing and their tribal council. So yeah, that also would have worked. But having one strategizing session and one tribal, it gives them way too much time to waste on these stupid stories. So yeah, I just never, I don't understand. Like if you need to tell a story like that, it'll come out naturally. Perfect example is Danny from 41. You don't need to force them all into 1 or 2 or 3, the first 3 or 2 episodes of a season. That's not how you tell stories at all. It's basic stuff. But yeah, so let's get then into these power rankings. We have 17 through 1. If you're new here, if you haven't watched one of these, we go from worst to best. 17th being the player that we feel like is in the worst spot right now, aka has the least chance to win, aka is going next, and first place is the exact opposite of that, is numero uno, the best. And I'll start. My number 17, I have Owen, the person who was really close to going home tonight in this episode. On top of that, I feel like they gave him that edit of like, oh, like he should have gone home, and like he didn't go home here, but his time's coming soon. He got that negative kind of. It's like just slightly negative. He didn't get a negative enough edit where it's obvious, but they definitely showed him kind of being oblivious to what's going on the tribe. And even though the vote went his way, it felt like he didn't know what was going on, even though technically he voted right. And on top of that, they like showed that like shocked look on his face when he got the votes at the end of the episode, and I feel like he might go on a fucking rampage and kind of ruin his whole game because he got votes. I could definitely see him being like, "What? I got a vote? Me? What? Who did it? Who did?" And then he causes a bunch of issues. So I mean, my bottom 5 are kind of all like synonymous, but I'll go with Owen just because we got more from him, so I know more about how bad he's playing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I also have Owen at 17 as well. Basically same thing. I think it's kind of weird. Like no one told him that his name was getting thrown out. Like I don't think anyone told him that, which shows that like at least they like wanted him to stay, but they also didn't care enough for them to even like tell him like, hey, just letting you know, Mariah might vote for you, but it's just her or whatever. So I don't know. Maybe they did it so he wouldn't freak out. Probably not. I think he's just on the outs of the tribe. He just got lucky that they wanted to keep stronger people in the tribe. But I feel like this tribe might be going to the tribal council a lot, and if that does happen, he's in trouble for sure.
Yep.
I think they could lie to him saying that the women were gonna vote him out, and then they all changed their mind except for obviously Maria, who was spearheading the women's alliance. And he would, like, if I was Sammy, I would do something like that. So Owen would probably buy that. I do think Owen does come off very much full of himself, where he thinks he's a really good player, but he's not.
Exactly.
We always get a guy like that.
Do you have him at 17 as well?
No, I don't. Just because.
Okay. Well, hold on. So
I think he'll be around.
Talk about Owen first, and then to talk about your 17. I'll be right back.
All right. So Owen, I don't think is going to go right away. I think he is going to be a guy who's at least around pre-merge to merge area. So, but for my 17, I have Dwight, who I think just had a worse episode and probably would have went home if their tribe went to tribal. So,
yeah, true. I mean, I might as well say I had Dwight at 16, so it was very between them. I think it was like, if to me at least it was kind of weird that like both Dwight and Gabler like so willingly told the tribe what happened, especially like with the idol stuff. And for Gabler, I think he was like, once he got the idol, I think he was thinking like, oh well, I'm gonna say we're gonna use this, for our tribe or whatever when we get to the merge. And then it's like you can only use it at the first two tribal councils, so he's kind of like, oh shit. So like, but now Gabler's basically safe though, right? Because I mean,
unless he doesn't. Stupid. I mean, he does seem like the kind of type who would be like, I'm not gonna play it no matter what.
Maybe, but now Dwight's in a really bad position because I agree. I think he would have gone home if his tribe went to the tribal council, and now that his vote is gone as well, that really
that's a good point. Yeah, his no vote too, which is we've seen that be a big impact. People just like, okay, you can't help me right now because you have no vote. I'm going to vote you out.
Yeah, and also, with it being a tribe of 6, your vote's really important because there's no room to hide in the tribe of 6. As opposed to like a tribe of 10, maybe you can get away with it for one vote. But yeah, when it's a tribe of 6, that only 5 other people are voting. There's only going to be 5 votes in the next, tribal council.
I feel like we've yet to see someone who's lost their vote like really get punished for it, and I think we could see it here. Where I mean, he's a big threat. He doesn't have a vote here. Let's take him out.
Who was the what's her name? Daniel, who lost her vote, and then that screwed that whole tribal, right?
Well, that's a whole kind. I feel like
from 42.
Kind of an,
what was her name?
Chanel.
Chanel.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like that's a big outlier because that's like a bunch of people doing horrible moves like all at once. It's very rare, and we got a great episode because of it. But I'm saying I feel like we yet to see someone just like be like, oh guys, I lost my vote, and they're like, well, we can't use. Okay, goodbye.
Well, that kind of happened to I'm forgetting everyone's name now. What the heck's his name? The guy who never mind, forget it.
Wait, from what season?
41. Who didn't win? That should have won.
Brad Voce.
Oh, JD.
No,
JD?
Who's in the final 3?
Oh, Mike.
No. Xander.
Xander.
Yeah.
Yeah, Xander. He kind of got screwed when he told everybody about like, oh wait, that was the idol. That was the idol.
I'm saying like nobody's actually talking home.
Never mind. I just had a big brain fart.
I was gonna say.
I mean, he could be the first though.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm agreeing. He's closer up on my list, but still farther up because
I was just saying Xander, when he risked his vote and he lost it, that kind of bit him in the butt with like they were like, oh, he's not very useful to us anymore. But he did survive. But like,
right, exactly.
That was just because they went on a immunity streak.
Right, exactly. And I'm saying I think this time they won't go on a streak and we'll eventually lose.
You have him at 17, Dwight, or 16, Dwight.
No. I have Dwight a little bit higher. But I'm gonna say my 15 and 16 together because they kind of seem to be a pair at this point, which is Noel and Justine. They've kind of isolated themselves on that red tribe. You can tell because basically the entire tribe is kind of like, oh, those two, they're really pairing off. I think everybody said it at one point, and that's a serious issue. Obviously, with a 4-2 majority on a tribe, especially with two girls who aren't necessarily the most strategic. I'm not very confident in them at all. I do think it could bounce back on Cody, and that will be reflected in my the people who are slightly above them. But I think if there's no big blindside, they're the easy boots on that tribe. So I think that they should go there. I have Noel lower just because she's weaker physically. That's it.
Wow, that's really ableist of you.
Nah, because I have Noel at 15 because, bro, first of all, on that red tribe in the preview for the next episode, they said, we got to vote out Cody. He's got to go, which instantly makes me think, okay, Cody's safe for the next episode. At least he should be, because like there's no way, right?
Dude, if Cody goes next episode, I'm already done with this season.
For real, right?
Cody's like the best character like I've seen like maybe in this 3-season stretch, like genuinely actually. So
yeah,
I don't know.
So and I agree. It looks like everyone might just be. I mean, I know that Ninyeka, Cody, and Jesse, they kind of have something going on. It seems like, and I feel like they could easily just pull in Dwight. Or he probably would go with him because he's probably pretty. Oh, he can't even do anything actually because his vote's gone. But like at least like be in the thought process of them, and that leaves Noel and Justine. Honestly, I think they vote off Noel before Justine. Honestly, I think.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, like what you gonna do? Like, sorry, just have a leg next time. I don't know. Like,
so why don't you have Justine down here too then?
Well, she's she's close down here. She's just not like.
Okay, cool. Noel. And then who's your 16 then? If Noel's your 15?
No, I said Dwight was my 16. That's why.
Oh, gotcha. Cool.
That's why I went to my 15. Yeah.
Right. Okay, Bitter. What's your 16 and 15? I guess.
Okay, so 16, I have Carla. She reminds me very much of Lydia and how she'll probably end up in a similar spot. Probably like very early merge or pre-merge. Just like, we gotta get rid of one of their allies. Let's just get rid of someone who's not a threat. Probably doesn't have an idol. Yeah, and she's not threatening at all. So if she did get far, she would definitely be a goat. And then 15, I have Janine, just because I find her to be very weak. We saw that in the challenge where she could barely get through the hole.
Just by being like freaking tiny. Should be able to get through it.
And she seems like Ellie's like her number 2, who will never kind of like take out her and become number 1. So I have her there.
Yeah, I agree with that statement of Janine kind of being just Ellie's like puppet. But at the same time, I think because of that, she's going to stay safe. And if there is going to be a big blindside, they may go after Janine just to keep like Ellie in her relationships. But the smart thing to do would be to just go right for the head and go for Ellie because she seems to me like one of the best players right now.
If they go back to tribal, I could see it being between Owen and Janine as who's going home.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. I have at 14. I have Dwight. We kind of already talked about him, so I won't waste time on him.
Okay. Yeah. At 14, I got Justine. So I mean.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Okay. Good.
Yeah. Same thing. I just think when it comes down to it, I don't think the red tribe will be going to tribal council necessarily a lot because I think like the yellow tribe actually is like terrible. But
Yep.
When it comes down to it, I think they vote off Noel over Justine. So I feel like that could potentially go to the merge because they might only go to one tribal council because the yellow tribe will be going there a lot.
Yep,
that's about it.
I agree with everything you said. We have at number 14. What do we have, Bitter?
Oh, okay. I have Cassidy because I think what I saw was even worse than I thought she'd be. I thought she'd be just a good follower. But she seems like she thinks she could think for herself, which is even worse for someone who's dumb. So I think
that's true.
I don't think she's long for this.
I have her higher up, but I agree. I think my theory with Cassidy is if there's a blindside, it's Cassidy on her tribe because she's the perfect candidate. Her edit has not been super positive or super negative. She's being built up as a player who's trying to play really aggressively, and she's the head of an alliance. So a big epic blindside for the pre-merge would definitely be Cassidy. I just don't know. I just don't know.
I could see her being blindsided. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know if guys like Jay would have the balls to do it. So that's why I'm kind of holding off. At number 13, I have Cody. Like I said earlier, I just feel like the issue with Cody is if there is a blindside, kind of similar to Cassidy, if there is a blindside on the Rev Tribe, like an epic one, it's gonna be Cody. I don't think it happens now or even like the episode after, but I think he could be like our pre-merge villain. He's kind of getting that edit, which is kind of scary. Or he doesn't get blindsided and we just go to the merge regular. But I think if there is a big blindside on that tribe, they're not going for Jesse, who's like really managing his threat level much better than Cody is. NECA is not. I mean, come on now, it's NECA. And
NECA.
It's either and then there's Justine and Noel, which are lower on the list. Who's left? Dwight also lower on the list, and so I feel like the only other person for a big blindside is Cody, because it's not Jesse and it's not NECA.
Yeah, Cody got a good alliance though for him. I mean, good tribe where I think he can control them. They're all very passive players.
I could totally see Jesse or NECA flipping on him and it being a big blindside, because I know for a fact that Justine and Noel probably hate Cody. So
I don't know. That non-salesman alliance seems pretty strong.
Yeah, his only threats are Jesse and NECA, I think, and he's working with them. So
right. I mean, because the other people are very passive on that tribe. Dwight is scary because I think Dwight would definitely find Cody. I think the issue with Cody is people would not only is he a threat, right, for being aggressive, but people would actually find him annoying, and that might be an issue, because you could get characters like Dwight going after him, and I think Jesse and NECA I think Jesse and NECA are the type to look out for numero uno, which is themselves, and they would 100% flip on him, I think, in a second. I mean, especially this early on.
Dwight is going after Cody. We saw it in the preview. He's the one that's like, we got to get Cody out.
I didn't even think of that. Yeah. Oh yeah. So there you go. I didn't even think of that, but I'm happy that
we could get a Cody versus Dwight type thing.
I think Cody wins that. I think
Cody wins that. Yeah. I agree. But I think because it's even him on the table, you have to have him in this bottom 5 here. I think it's only fair.
Cody's biggest weakness is if he gets caught in a lie, because he is lying a lot.
He is lying a lot, and which again, I feel like it's just I'm drawing so many like similarities to like people like Russell, just like guys who just like to lie. Damn, it's so fun to watch, but it is scary for his game.
He's the type where you're like, this guy's gonna get caught, and then you're like, oh, he's in the.
What if you just like lied about your name? Like, what if you said a name that like had like.
Just like Cody, I mean, Bartholomew.
Yeah, like, can you do that? I feel like you can, right? Like,
I went to reveal to everybody my name was Carl the whole time.
Maybe it's like on like the contract that you can't lie about your name or something like that.
No, you can definitely lie about your name, because like they do that for like athletes, right? Who are famous. They want to lie about like Gary Hogaboom. I mean, they lied about like their last name.
I'm saying like, can you lie about your first name? Can you be like your name's like
they would let you
Bob
do that,
and like funny. Say like, oh yeah, my name's actually Muhammad.
Definitely
you could do a funny editing thing where it's like their name at the bottom like has their real name crossed out and has like their fake name on there.
Okay. What are we gonna get?
Oh yeah, it's so funny. Oh yeah. All right. Is it my turn or is it your turn?
What did you just say?
I didn't do my 13 yet.
I didn't do my 13 yet either.
Go ahead, Sky.
My 13 is Carla.
Cool.
I'm thinking like she might accidentally get left at like the, what's it called, the island before like challenges, because the boat can't hold her weight, so they might have to leave her.
Much weight.
Yeah, they might just have to leave her on the island, so they don't. The tribe can't use her. And then they have to vote around. She's not even at tribal council because she would break the tribal council set. It's just a hard life for her. So yeah, I also think she's talking about like she was in the middle or something. I feel like she thinks that, but she's not actually that good of a player, and so she'll just get like. I mean, it'd be great if she went home like pre-merge. You know what I'm saying? Like I really got nothing on her. I think like for the most part, like I was looking at Instagram when their tribes came up during like the middle of the episode because I was just so bored. So I don't really have a good, like memory or like grasp of the blue tribe. But yeah, I don't know. I don't like her, so she's a 13 or
whatever. What do you have at your 13 bidder?
My 13 is Lindsay, just because she seems like she also kind of wants to control things a little bit. Like she seems like she wants to be a kind of a power player, and I could easily see her becoming threatening to people. The older women trying to.
One of the few good mom casts that I've seen. She is trying to play the game aggressive, which I do like better than like your Heathers. But I still think she doesn't have that killer instinct to play the game that way. So it's definitely scary.
Well, she's in a weird spot right now. She's trying to bring James over, right, to the women's alliance. Which is like, why do you ask a dude to be in an all women's alliance?
Yeah, it's very confusing.
Yeah, at least she didn't ask like
some confusing.
She's just based like that.
She didn't ask the gay guy to be in the All Women's Alliance. That usually doesn't work out well.
Imagine
just one of the girls.
She just based like that. I don't know.
Remember when they did? Who did that? And wasn't that
San Wendell Sarah?
Yeah.
Josh or whatever. Yeah.
Oh my, yeah. He got offended. He was like, "What?"
Yeah. He's like, I am a
Anyone who
man.
knows me knows that
I am a man.
Call me a girl. I am not a girl. I'm a man.
Yeah, dude. She a Cancer. She assumed his gender. That's pretty messed up.
Okay. It was actually Nadia, I think, who said that, right? And she got
Yeah.
voted out.
And she deserved it.
Yeah. L. She deserves it.
All right. Like, you just got your gender assumed. L.
Dude, hold on. My list is like goofy, Rob. Okay, now I'm looking at it.
Now you're looking at the list you made.
Yeah.
All right.
Because like I don't have a good like opinion on most of these people because like we didn't see like half the cast.
Yeah, a lot of them just fall right in the middle because they're all very similar right now.
Exactly.
They're just pieces on the board.
Hit 12 now, something like that.
Yeah, Spencer's 12.
My 12 is. Let's look at what my 12. What is my 12 actually? I haven't even looked at it. My 12 is Janine. I said kind of earlier. She's kind of a follower, more of a tool than an actual player. And she seems to just be Ellie's kind of shield, but not like a meat shield, like a weak shield. And that's it. I mean, I've kind of already talked about her. So yeah.
Yep.
That's crazy because I also have Janine as well. I agree with basically everything you said. So yeah, that's it.
Yep, I could totally see her like being like that last boot of the pre-merge, or like the boot at that like spot. What is it called? The merge thing, where it's just she's just allies with Ellie, and people know that Ellie's a big threat, and so they go after her. I see her in like a Liana spot, and Liana should have gone home a lot earlier than she did. So I feel like that's the spot for her.
Right. Well, I have Gio because he reminds me very much of Romeo in a lot of ways. But he seems like someone who could, get to the final three, and you're like, why is Gio here? And what did he do? And why does no one like him? And he doesn't win.
For real. Dude. I feel like Gio's just like, I don't know if he's gonna do that much the entire season. I think he's gonna be kind of there on there.
He could be similar to Romeo, where he's a bigger character early on and just fades away.
Well, did he really even get that much this episode? He was like, I feel bad, so I did this challenge.
Romeo was a big player early on, and he faded away, but he was never a big character. Come on now.
No, that's what I'm saying. But like, yeah, he was people were focused on Romeo very early in terms of strategy. I'm thinking the same for Gio, and then he'll disappear and then pop up around final five again. You're like, oh, Gio's still here.
Gotcha. Let's vote him out.
Yeah. I get that kind of. Yeah, I agree. Okay. I have Gio higher just because I think he's in a great spot on his tribe. And he's probably almost guaranteed merge, I think, at this point.
Yeah, so. Just like Romeo.
Yep.
All right, where are we at now? 11?
11, yeah.
11?
Spencer.
I got Jay at 11. He's in the same spot Sammy's at, except Sammy has a really good bond with the powerful person on his tribe. I don't think Jay and Cassidy, who is the powerful person, quote unquote, on his tribe, or the older lady have a great bond.
Wait, who's Jay?
Sammy,
his name is James.
Yeah, it's Jay or James, but
it's James.
I've heard both names on the island, so I
really?
like.
Oh, okay, then yeah.
I did not hear them.
It makes sense
on the gram.
Yeah, I mean, you can go to his Instagram, but I think that the biggest thing for me with Jay is he's in a very very similar spot to Sammy, where there's this female kind of group on his tribe, and he's tagging along. The difference and why Sammy's much higher up on this list is because Jay's relationship with the powerful person in that female group is not as strong as Sammy's is with Ellie, the person who's very powerful in his tribe. I feel like Jay's person there will be either Cassidy or the older lady, Lindsay, and he just doesn't have that bond there. I think he's totally disposable as just like a number to kind of waste. He's fourth in that alliance, which is kind of scary because if there's ever any issues, they would just easily just kick him off of the edge of the cliff. Take the sacrifice. And so I think Jay's spot is definitely at 11 for sure.
Yeah, he also might get kicked off the season for public nudity if his pants keep falling off.
Don't get our hopes up.
Don't get our hopes up, bro. What?
Bro's pants were not working.
Belt. Never heard of a belt before. It was so funny. They pulled him up. He was like, "Get your pants back on." He was like, okay.
He's only gonna lose weight during the season. Those pants are gonna keep going down.
Yeah, it was funny though. Like watching him, he didn't put his pants back on. He just like held them and like went over the balance.
I know he stood there for like so long with his pants at his ankles. I'm like, dude, grab your pants.
Like, where your pants at?
I like the Chad thing would have been just to kick his pants off and just forget about his pants, but he didn't do that.
That's not
pants
Chad.
You don't need your pants anymore.
Take his pants off. That's not Chad, bro. What?
Well, no, they're just. Oh, he still had underwear on. Just like take his his pants were hindering him. You
just
like
throw
him
it
off
like,
I don't care about pants.
It's like, hey, can I see your pants real quick? And just like throw them off them.
That's definitely not Chad.
Just like you guys didn't finish in time. James's pants are still down there. They had to cross the line too.
They actually, James' pants have to cross the line too, so they can't finish the challenge.
James' pants aren't on correctly. You lose the challenge automatically.
All right, what are we at? 11, right?
Yep.
I got Lindsay. In mid player, I guess. I don't like a lot of these players fit in like for me like this 11 to like a 6 type thing because they're all just like in the same position basically since we only know really about like 4 people in the position. But I just think Lindsay just like especially since she's on like probably the best tribe when it comes to physically, right? Like
yeah,
all right, they might just be like, oh, all women, you gotta go. So
like
that's about it, really.
About you. Okay,
nice.
Yeah. I got at 10. I got Mike.
Wait. I got my 11.
Okay, go ahead.
I have really nothing to say. I have Justine. She's just gonna be I think she's gonna be a very loyal person, follower who has to go at some point.
Agreed. At 10, I have Mike. Now we're starting to get into the part of my list that this top 10 where it's no longer people who are not safe or who are actively like, eh. Now Mike is on that border because I feel like Mike could be the person where you're like, more at Mike. What? No, get his ass out. Like what? Because you know what I mean? He's not this incredible person that you need to keep the whole pre-merge, but he's also like not the person who has the closest bond on the tribe. I think the only 2 people who are like safe on that tribe are Sammy and Ellie, unless they have some sort of Sammy versus Ellie thing. I think really you have to start looking at the other people on that tribe, especially because that tribe is going to lose more challenges. And I think at some point, Mike, it's going to be his day. Is it going to be now? Is it going to be the next time they lose? After that, I don't know. But I feel like Mike is not safe at all. Maybe he's not necessarily in danger, but he's not safe. And I feel like that's why he's kind of smack dab in the middle of my list.
Not safe at all. Put some 10. All right. My 10 is Cassidy because I could see her going out at the merge. I could see her being a GOAT at the end, honestly. Like I said, I wasn't really paying attention when the Blue Tribe kind of came up in the middle of the episode. What are like the tribe dynamics in the Blue Tribe? What it's like I don't even know what are the tribe dynamics. I'm not even sure what like the alliances are and stuff like that. I was not paying attention. Is there like a alliance on that tribe?
Let me just summarize the alliances. On Yellow Tribe, I'd say Janine and Ellie are very close. Sammy kind of knows everybody. He's chilling. He's just going to go wherever power is going. And that leaves Owen and Mike kind of and Owen specifically because I think they find Owen to be less sociable and just he has less friends. On the Blue Tribe, there's the female alliance that to this point has not really had any cracks in it. And it seems like they're actually going to stay together with Jay kind of tagging along with that female alliance. Cassie's kind of the leader of that female alliance on that tribe. And the Red Tribe, we have Cody, NECA, and Jesse with that anti-salesperson alliance. Justine and Noel are like kind of on the outside of the tribe. They're kind of pairing off and becoming the minority. And Dwight is kind of all on his own right now and does not have a vote.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Like I mean, Cassidy is in a good position, and she might get flipped on if there's a flip. Because 10. That's good. That's good. Okay.
Cool. All right. So for my 10, I have Noel. She seems the most competent and interesting of the women. There's very few interesting women this season. I would have her higher. It's just the fact she is still a woman, so she can only.
Bro, no chance you said that, bro.
What?
Anyways, okay, so yeah, is it 10 now?
Yeah,
9.
9.
Between those two numbers.
9. I have Carla. Not really much to say about her. I can't put her any lower. She's in a decent spot on our tribe, but I just don't have faith in her as a winner. That's it.
Right. Shoot, 9. I got Cody Assmuncher. I really hope he stays. But like he could be like the pre-merge villain that gets voted out.
Yeah.
Though I think he's basically safe for this next episode because like they said in like the preview, oh, it's Cody, he's got to go. And then they showed him like jumping off a cliff or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think they would have played him up so much in the first episode if he's just going the second episode.
Yeah, so I think he should be at least safe for this episode. But I could also see them like flipping on him like he's crazy, bro. Like he's unpredictable. We got to get rid of him, or like his lies. Everyone just figures out that he's lying to everyone, and they're like, oh, he's not trustworthy. But I hope that doesn't happen because I want him to stay. So right now I got him at 9 because I think for this at least this next episode he should be pretty safe.
All right. No, so at 9 for me, I have James. Yeah, we basically said everything we need to say about James. If he cucks out and joins the All Women's Alliance, I'll be embarrassed for him and his pants. But I think he's definitely someone who makes it to the merge. He just seems like that kind of person.
I don't know. He could be like that person who just gets booted out from his alliance before like that Ethan type, where it's just like we gotta get somebody out because an idol happened or because there was a flip that happened or a split vote that went wrong. And
well, he's in the 4 majority in his alliance. He's at least going to survive too.
He's loose in that majority. He's not like in it. He's just kind of.
I don't. Yeah, but Lindsay seems like she really wants to work with him more than the women, but she agreed with the women because it gives her numbers. So I could see him and Lindsay kind of being a pair.
Like, does Lindsay keep the women or does Lindsay keep Jay? And I feel like she'd pick the women over Jay. That's just
I don't know. Lindsay, the older women usually pick the one, like they have the one guy with them. They're not usually women, because older women are more like they want to be in power. They don't care about, women empowerment and shit. So like she's gonna pick James, I think.
I could see either way. That's why I kind of have Jay in the middle of my list. Is that your 10, 9?
That was my 9, so you're at 8.
Got it. What was your 9, Sky, again? I forget.
My 9 was Cody.
Cody. Okay, cool. My 8 is Cassidy. I kind of already talked about Cassidy. I just think she's like the blindside person on her tribe, and that's kind of scary. But at the same time, she's in power. She's like if there's a power ranking on her tribe, she's probably number 1 or at least close to it. I have Lindsay ahead of her, but I think that's just because Lindsay's more safe. And that's it. That's all it is. And yeah, let's go. Got 8.
My number 8 is James Jones. His pants are not going to help him in this season. Just get rid of the pants, honestly, or like get like a bamboo.
Yeah. Whoa, get rid of the pants.
No,
what do
like
you mean by that?
Or like or like they can be like, imagine like they make him like a Ponfron belt.
No, do what Rupert did, where he just cuts his shirt and wears it like a dress or something.
Mm-hmm. And like you said, he's only going to get skinnier, so like it's just gonna be more of a problem. Honestly, it'd be funny if it's just like a running joke throughout the season that
it's gotta be because there's no unless they like. Why wouldn't he just grab a piece of rope or something and tie it around his waist?
Like he physically just does not understand how to keep his pants up, like how to keep them tight. Imagine like
if they fall through that the whole season, I'm gonna be laughing.
I'll honestly like James a lot if his pants keep falling out. It would be pretty funny. Imagine that's a problem in real life. Like, what if that's a problem for him in real life? Like,
just
he goes to work
here.
and his pants keep falling off or whatever.
Well, that's James the pants guy. Imagine if he jumps in when they have to swim in the water, he's just getting sunk down by his pants falling off. That's be so good.
Like, you take off your pants. Like, no, they mean too much to me. Like,
no one wants to take my pants off.
Like, what, are you gay or something? You want me to take my pants off?
And Gio's like, yes, I am.
No, but like, I mean, imagine like someone's new to his like place of work and his pants fall off, and I was like, oh yeah, no, that's normal. Get used to it. That's just James. His pants fall off, whatever. And they just like quit because they don't want to see freaking James's underwear on. But Ryan actually seemed so upset. He was like, put your pants back on. Like,
put your pants back.
And he didn't even put his pants back on. He waited for some reason when he could have put his pants back on and just held them until like he went down the slide.
Damn pants back on. All right, you got number 8 still?
Yeah, for me, I have Mike. Mike seems like the perfect ally to have, and if I'm Sammy, I'm taking Mike and I'm keeping him next to me this whole game. Why would you throw away someone who was willing to like throw his life down for his tribe?
He's like Mike Turner from last season, except he doesn't have that strategy in it. He's just a burger.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't know. I feel like Mike could also do like that heel turn where he becomes like in power.
No, I don't see that at all. If you're willing to go out,
he has a
like
less
first
chance of it happening. But we also never foresaw Mike taking over the game like that. Like he literally owned the game for the last 4 rounds.
Yeah, but I think Mike does have like that killer instinct. We're talking about 2 Mikes. That's
Turner,
right now.
Turner, Turner, and then there's Gabler.
Yeah, I'm talking about Gabler. I don't think has that killer instinct.
Or Gabler. So I hate saying Gabler. It's so weird.
Yeah.
I thought it's Gabler. Wait, is it Gabler? That's what they call him?
No, it's Gabler, but I'm so used to Gabler, and
but that's actually goofy. What the heck?
Let's call him Gabler.
Yeah,
but
Gabler.
Yeah, I see him getting really far because Why would you vote him out? He's not.
Yeah,
I never see him becoming a threat. He's the perfect guy where it's like he's loyal to his original tribe. So you vote out the rest of your original tribe. So he's only loyal to you. That's what you do.
Yeah, I mean, because that tribe is going to go for all these times. I think Sammy and Ellie are going to be the surviving members, at least at this point. It seems like it, right? With I think we all have earned. We don't all have, but like a lot of us have Owen towards the bottom of our list, and then on top of that, let's say Owen goes, then it's 4 left. We also kind of have Janine there close to the bottom, and so it feels like Owen and Janine go, and it's only Mike, Sammy, and Ellie left. I think from there, Mike is the person that you want to pull in. He's not the person going home, unless Sammy and Ellie come together. But I think they'll see each other as too much of a threat and not trust each other. Go ahead.
If you're Sammy, the only person you can trust on your tribe, I think, is Mike. Everyone else is a threat. Like I feel like everyone else has a chance. Like definitely Owen would flip.
Yep.
Even Ellie would flip if the situation was right where she thinks she can become a power player. And Janine, I don't trust either at a merge. The only person I trust is Mike if I'm Sammy.
Agreed. It's very similar to the Mike from last season, except you're right. He doesn't have that killer instinct that Mike had last season to take out like the high. You know what I mean? To take out Sammy.
Yeah, someone goes
Mike from last season was stupider.
No, Mike from this season is stupider.
Yeah.
No, it said Mike from last season, but stupider.
Stupider. Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like no one's gonna go to Mike and be like, Mike, yeah, Sammy was saying you're his goat and he can't wait to take you to the end. He's like, oh, really? That's great.
What a nice thing. No one's ever said that about me.
Really? I get to go to the end?
Are we on 7 right now?
Yeah, we're on. We're going into 7 right now. I have NECA at 7. Right. I think it's kind of interesting. You would not expect that. I was starting to kind of get bad on NECA towards like as the season started to come closer. I'm like, wait, hold on. Her archetype is built for her to go home early. And I think between like everything that we know about her, she's not going to really blend with her tribe, but she's with people who vibe with her, right? Jesse and Cody are like built for like they vibe perfectly, and it works out. On top of that, the person in her alliance that would be like the sacrificial lamb is Cody, not her. And her and Jesse can kind of swing back and forth on the tribe. I think Jesse's in the best spot on that tribe, and that's why I have him higher. But I think NECA is easily in the second best spot on that tribe, and that's why I have him higher.
Okay.
That's it.
Mm-hmm. This is where I see NECA right now. She could either be like a Sari or a Taj, or she could be like Chanel from 41 or 42. Right. Her and Jesse could be like Daniel and Chanel, where they kind of screw up. Or I do lean more to her being more of a Taj.
Yeah, Taj. Where she just gets to the end and probably just gets taken out because she just doesn't have that killer instinct to do it first. Probably.
Yeah. Like you got Jesse, who's like your Steven, and I think Cody's more your JT in a way.
Agreed.
So that could definitely be interesting if those three stick together for a while.
Yeah. I mean, but then again, like literally an alliance can never stick together nowadays, so it kind of sucks.
Yeah, that does suck. Yeah.
We'll never have like a freaking like a full 4, right? Because even an easy one, the yellow tribe from I believe it was 41. Xander and Evie, right, and Tiffany. They survived the first tribal, and they just all split up and scatter and vote out each other. So stupid. Stay together.
It saves you from those big tribes sticking together and voting like a pagonging. But you do like to see you do occasionally get pairs. You still get pairs sometimes, but it'd be nice to get a 3-person alliance.
Yeah, like a 3 or 4, because every time it's like the 3 or 4 pair that gets to the end is usually like formed at like final 7. You know what I mean? And they dominate from there. Yeah. It's kind of sad, but
just nowadays it's so obvious when people see like, oh, there's still 4 of that one tribe. We had to take them out. They're a threat.
That's true. Yeah,
bro, awesome shit.
That's why 2 tribe seasons are easier, because it is obvious, and the whole point is just can you win out there? You know.
If you do some swaps, it's harder to judge who's the guy.
Right, exactly, because you want someone to win out in the end, but you don't want it to be the win out like at the start. You want them to win out at like 6 or 5.
Yeah, or 7. You just need one good swap to keep it confusing. I don't like a lot of swaps because then it's like, who cares? Everyone doesn't trust everybody. But one swap is good.
Like one swap after the first 4 votes, and you have that for like 2 rounds or whatever, right?
Yeah, or even switch it up with where the swap is so no one can predict it. But
I mean, or you just do something different. How about that? Just like don't just do the same thing each
Don't do
season.
literally the exact same format for 4 seasons in a row.
Yeah,
except this time it's different because
that's why it becomes predictable. It's like we do the twist, but we do the exact same twist.
And they try to justify by saying like, well, there's different people, so we're gonna see if it plays out differently because social experiment or something like that.
Yeah, I mean it's really the first 2 times. Okay, people were new to it, and then after that, people start planning for it. And then after that, it becomes very boring and predictable.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right. Number 7, I got Mike Gabler. We already really talked about him, so nothing to say about him. I will say he looks like a cartoon character. So his nose is weird. I don't know. I got nothing else to say about it.
Whoa, dude.
All right. Y'all see his nose, bro? Like, it looks like...
How could I not?
Right? Exactly. But I hope he stays because... Honestly, it's kind of cool, but I feel like he could do something stupid like he did like last episode where he's like, I'm going to play my shot in the dark because I deserve to not have He was like, I deserve to not have my vote because I blew the challenge or something like that.
I almost made my recap like theme, like because for the recap I have like it's a recap thing, but I have to have a thumbnail and a title that draws people. I almost made it like just about Mike being stupid. I was almost like the dumbest move ever, like because that really was stupidish. Like that was not smart.
I mean, that makes for a great character, though. So hopefully he lasts long, makes more blunders because it keeps the game fun. He is he could be the actual, an actual Keith Nail, stick to the plan.
Keith Nail type. Yeah. Agreed. Is it my?
No, it's mine. My 7. I have Owen. I should have him lower. It's just like he's the only one that he has competence. He's just really bad at implementing
himself, and he doesn't understand. Yeah.
I really thought he could have went home the first vote because he is the guy. It's like you think Sammy's the jock, can't think strategy, and then Owen would be the guy that's like, oh, I actually have strategy, but he's the game bot that has no emotional strategy and he's gonna get voted out.
Yep, agreed. Exactly.
Some real shit.
I still think I don't know how you have Owen this high. I mean,
it's just the rest of the cast
too high. I don't know, man. I disagree. That's okay.
He could make it to the merge. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Number 6, I have Lindsay, the person who I think is playing the best game right now on that blue tribe. I think. Oh no, sorry. Wait, do I have one? No. Yeah, no. I have. Oh wait, no. I have 2 people actually higher than her. I don't know why I thought that, but out of her own alliance of females, I think she is the most powerful, and I don't see them blindsiding an old lady during the pre-merge. I really don't see it happening. I don't know. Like if you're gonna blindside somebody. If you're gonna blindside somebody, you're not gonna blindside the old lady. You're gonna blindside Cassidy, not Lindsay. And so I think
especially an old lady who's not like out of shape. So
right, and so exactly. And so I feel like she has just as much power as Cassidy, maybe even more because she has the better relationship with Jay. But I think the only difference is she doesn't have as big of a target on her back, and she's smarter about keeping her mouth shut, whereas in Cassidy is not.
Yeah, but Lindsay's definitely the person that becomes a bigger threat down the line. You probably do want to get rid of her early.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. I think she's definitely a big like post merge blindside, but I just don't see her going out pre merge.
All right, then. So we're at now
6, right?
It's my 6. Let me see. I got Gio. He just kind of ended up here because I think he's in a better position than most people, even though he's technically on the outs, but. I just don't see that team going to tribal council a lot. And if they do, I don't think they're going to vote out Gio, honestly. I think they vote out people like Carla over him. Because I feel like, what's her name? I feel like Lindsay is probably not going to stick with that women's alliance, honestly. I feel like, she might flip with the guy or something. Because it seems like that usually happens with like older women. They just flip on the women's alliance. I don't know why. So I think Gio's actually in a pretty decent position, at least right now.
Agreed.
All right. I have Ryan next. Ryan, would you guys say he's the strongest on the season, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So if you're his tribe, you don't vote him out because then you're screwed. You're like you had this huge advantage of having the strongest person. I would, you definitely vote out Gio over him if you're trying to keep the tribe strong. But I also don't. He also seems like a great loyal ally. I don't know why no one's trying to work with him. Yeah. I guess Gio and him had a little bit of.
What are you talking about? He has Gio and he has all the guys. He has Gio.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, I was saying Gio's. Well, James is obviously deciding to go with the women.
Yeah,
I would say Gio. Yeah, well, that's not that great of an
Gio
ally.
is like a big one for him for sure. And I think the women wouldn't go after him first. They'd probably go after either Jay to just like get out the person who knows about the women's alliance, or they'd probably go after Gio. I mean, it's one of the other. I don't think
if they stick with the women's alliance, you have to vote out Gio first because you're not going to vote out Ryan. So Gio is in a really bad spot if that comes to play.
I mean, it's either Gio or it's I don't know. It's either Gio or Jay.
Yeah, that's why it gets weird because like if you're Lindsay, like realistically, you'd want to vote out Carla because she's not useful at all.
Right.
And then you'd vote out like Gio.
I think they probably vote out like. I think Gio is looking like a very probable one, but I think it makes more sense like strategically to vote out Jay instead because he's the one who knows about the alliance. You're kind of voting out the person who you don't need.
You need him though if you're gonna vote, unless you convince the other two guys that you're just all voting together and you're not like all women's alliance. Because James knows about it, so you can't kind of like you had to use him.
Right. You just say, oh, like let's just get Jay out, whatever. And I think at least Ryan would be open to it, voting with them, and then you completely take over the tribe.
See, I think that would backfire on them because then James because that would get back to James and he'd be like, oh, what? They're an all women's alliance. I didn't want to join them. He would get the 3 guys back with that. True. So I think Lindsay has to either decide. I'm using all. It really comes down to Lindsay's decision on this first vote. I think who goes home.
Agreed. I guess I probably should have put Gio lower, but I have Gio at 5. I still think the benefit with him is if he gets to the merge. I think he's super sociable, can make tons of friends. I think it's a matter of can he get out of this tribe with this dominant alliance.
It's so weird. Like, if I'm Lindsay, I want to actually join all the guys in this tribe and vote out the other 2 women.
I feel like Lindsay could win like post merge with a jury full of guys. I don't think Cassidy's are voting for Lindsay at the end. I don't think that Carla's are voting for Lindsay. I don't see it.
Also,
I think she's better off with guys.
If Lindsay goes to the merge with Carla and Cassidy, she's the threat. If she goes with the 3 dudes, no one's even paying attention to Lindsay.
Exactly.
Oh man, she's dumb and she doesn't go with the dudes.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lindsay's in one of the best spots. It's just an issue of like, does she stick with a stupid alliance or does she actually go with the boys?
Yeah, you're right. She probably makes the merge, but will she make it in a good spot or with a bunch of loser allies that aren't gonna help her?
Maybe we'll have to see. What are we on
now? 5 for Spencer.
My 5 is I already said my 5.
Oh yeah, Gio. My 5 is Nyeka.
Oh yeah,
she's just in a pretty good position right now. I think she's basically safe. I think a lot of things would have to go wrong for her to get voted out next episode or any episode soon. So yeah, I think she just put herself in a good position. But I also don't think she's right now at least in a winning position because she seems to just be doing nothing right now. That's about it.
All right,
agreed.
Next I have Ellie. I don't want to have her this high, but she is in a good spot. I do see her as the 3rd, like she'll at least make it till 3 on the tribe, but the tribe goes down to 3. I just don't want her to do well, but I think she will.
Yeah, so that's why she's here. Such a predictable, like just like the past 2 winners. I don't want her to do well, but I agree. I feel like she has to at least get 3, and at that point, it's a matter of if Gabler works with her, if Sammy works with her. I think really in that spot, Gabler's going to go Sammy. I think in that case, she has to get Sammy to go with her. Tough task, but I think it could happen because they're closer in age.
It is weird because Sammy was being kind of a jerk to Mike during the challenge, but it didn't seem like that really changed Mike's opinion on Sammy. They seem still pretty good.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I was worried about is Sammy pushing Mike away with stuff like that, and then Mike going to someone like Ellie. Well, I see Ellie making it far. I do not see her winning though. She does not seem like a winner. She doesn't seem like she'll give a great speech.
I think she got a perfect edit this last episode. And it wasn't perfect like Marianne. I guess Marianne won, but usually Marianne's edit is like a fan favorite, and it wasn't like that, like the type of edit where it was a fan favorite. It felt like a realistic winner edit where she didn't get a lot of content, but the content she got was about her strategy, and we also heard about her story, so we got both.
That's super important. I think it was more of a I'll be here for a long time, but I'm not sold on the winner edit yet.
Maybe we'll see.
Okay, so next is your 4.
Yep.
Spencer?
My 4 is Ryan. Like I said, I think he's not going home pre-merge. I don't see it. You'd be stupid to vote. I mean, I think voting out Jonathan pre-merge doesn't matter what he does. You can't vote. I mean, that's just stupid. You're asking to lose your numbers. And he's also a great meat shield at the merge. I think he's definitely getting the merge, and from there, I think he actually has good strategy. He's great socially. He's like Jonathan, except I don't think he'd turn negative, like how Jonathan did, where he kind of turned to like a more of a negative figure.
Yeah, Jonathan's more. He'll take control. I don't think. Yeah, right. Ryan just seems like he's going to take control.
Correct. Yeah, that's what I have. But I'd say my top three are kind of separated, though. I think Ryan kind of ends this.
Yeah, Ryan. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Sky.
4, right? I got Jesse. So I mean, he had a pretty good edit last episode. I think he's pretty safe. He's in that sales. We don't like salespeople alliance. Even though he was also saying like he wants to keep his options open, though, right? Like he says he doesn't necessarily want to be in that alliance. So I feel like he's just kind of in the middle. I think he's in a pretty good position right now. He also seems like he has pretty good social skills, at least right now, because he's bonding with a lot of people. So I have him 4.
Got it. All right. Sure. So my 4, I have Cody. Not because I think he's gonna win. It's just because I want him to win. So he's at 4 for me. Just because I'm gonna keep hope alive.
Hope alive. There's a guy in my there's a guy in my comment section who always comments "Keep hope alive." Shout out. What's it? Christopher. I think his name's Christopher. Shout out, bro.
It is a good sentiment.
It is a very good sentiment. Hope alive.
It also leaves you with disappointment because usually what you hope for doesn't happen. So
it's true. It's very true. Is it yours, Bishop?
Huh? What? He just went.
Oh yeah, I just said Cody. So
okay, cool. So it's my 3.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so my top 3 are very separate. I feel like from everybody else, I have Sammy at 3. I think I leave Jesse and Ellie for my top 2 because Jesse and Ellie, I feel like not only are they in control of their tribes, but they also have the ability to flip back and forth between alliances. Whereas, and I think Sammy can flip back and forth, but he's not in control. Like he is one of those, but not both of those, and that's the biggest issue for me. And the reason why I kind of have an issue with putting him in this top 2, I think he's in a great spot. His edit shows that there's no way he goes home any early, because the only other like edit like in this new era that we've seen that's similar in the pre-merge is like a JD edit, but JD was kind of given like that bonehead edit, whereas in Sammy was not. He was given the exact opposite. So I think Sammy has to be a merc. There's no way Sammy goes home. I mean, that would be so horrible. So I think Sammy has a good spot as far as flipping ability, but he doesn't have a good spot as far as like an actual home to stay, except for maybe Mike.
All right. So we're just say our 3 R2s and R1s. Okay.
No. I didn't
just your 3.
Or just 3. I thought you said it's 3. And
well, he by elimination he said his other 2 people who would be left. Yeah. He didn't give the order yet.
Yeah. Okay. My 3 is Ryan. Don't know how he got here. He's just kind of here. I think it's because
we got screen time from like 2 people.
Yeah, I think it's because like Ryan's base should be safe throughout the first like couple votes of the pre-merge, because like if they're not stupid, which they might be, in this new era Survivor, like there's no reason he should go home. He's clearly the most physically capable person on the entire season, and in the season where you have a bunch of weaklings like freaking like I don't know Gio or like people like that, or like I don't know. Owen, he seems kind of weak. You got to keep Ryan around, especially because I think it's helping with the tribe. And everyone seems to like him as well. Like I don't think a lot of people are like talking about him like with strategic stuff, but there was like content on people saying that they liked Ryan. So yeah, I think he's pretty much safe for these first couple of votes in the pre-merge.
He does seem like a sneaky strong too. Like we're at the merge, you're not necessarily targeting because of his strength, but you should be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Correct. Agreed.
At 3, I have
like a Jonathan where he wasn't winning a much challenges. He was just had good social gameplay and had allies who could do the strategy for him.
Yeah. So at 3, I have Jesse. He just seems like he's gonna be like he might be the best under the radar type player on the season. Yep. His only downside, if he gets caught as being a really good player, people are like, okay, he's the obvious threat.
He's one of the best. I think you could argue he's the best player on this season. That's why he's in my top 2. I agree.
Yeah, if like something like with like David, where everyone's like, oh, he's just the best strategy player, we gotta get rid of him.
Correct.
That could happen. towards the end, he'll become more obvious because it's hard to play that game anymore where you're like this really good strategy guy.
Just the best players, period.
Yeah.
Like, end of story.
By Final Four, people are like, okay, we got to get rid of you. We're going to put you in the fire. And then you're obviously the weak guy because you're not there because you're threatening physically and you lose. So Or it could be like he's like, okay, yeah, he's say like Jesse got there with I don't know, say like NECA or something. You probably like in today's age, you're gonna be like, okay, let's just give all the credit to NECA as the great player, not the dude.
Yep.
So
I have Jesse at 2, so I can kind of continue what you're going off of. Positives, well, because you kind of cover the negatives. It's just like he is going to be looked at as a very, very good player because he is one of, if not the best, at least it seems like strategical players on this season. Maybe not the best socially, even though social game's also very good, but his strategy is probably better than Ellie's strategy. Although I have Ellie at 1, I feel like Jesse does deserve kind of that strategy trophy. Ellie's game is very social and she's very good socially, but Jesse to me is going to be the best strategically until he gets taken out. The issue is he's probably going to get taken out, but before that happens, he is going to dominate this game. I feel like personally, he has the allies on this tribe. He can flip to anybody he wants in the tribes. Hell, he could pick up Noel and Justine and vote out NECA for he can do anything. He can do literally anything he wants on this tribe. It's kind of a choose your own path type of thing. And at the merge, I feel like he could pick up guys like Ryan and Gio and pull them into his alliance. Hopefully he can protect Cody and keep Cody for a later blindside down the road. I think he's in a great spot, but Ellie for me takes the cake because I think the big if here is if her tribe isn't going to pull an UA and get down to 2 members, hopefully they can not lose the rest of the challenges. I think she's in a great spot come merge time for social game. And in the end, obviously, as we've seen, the social game just happens to rule out in Survivor. So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, is there a player you could compare him to over the last 2 seasons?
Jesse?
Yeah.
A high is the closest thing where he
I think he's more of an Omar.
No, because
Omar's not as much of a dick.
Omar's more social.
That's true. Yeah.
Not as gay as well.
I feel like Omar is the best player that we've seen over these 2, and I feel like Omar's very social and very strategic. Jesse's cool socially and very strategic. I feel like High is a better example because High's not as good socially, and I feel like Jesse is also not the best socially. High creates that merge alliance that dominates the first 3 rounds of the game until High goes home himself. And I think Jesse could do the exact same thing, create the majority alliance from basically scratch, from nothing.
Yeah, I just don't see anyone's gonna be like, I don't like Jesse, like with High, because High puts off that negative.
But nobody really said they don't like High. It was just someone telling Mike.
I said that. So I mean,
I don't know. True. I guess maybe it's just the viewing audience didn't like him. I don't know.
Oh, someone definitely didn't like him out there. Didn't Mike kind of get upset with him? It was like,
well, yeah.
Well, Mike voted him out.
Exactly.
I don't think people liked High out there, but
me neither. All right. What are we on? 2s, right?
1 and 2.
2, 1 and 2.
1 and 2. So at 2, I got Sammy, and at 1, I got Ellie. I feel like Ellie basically, perfect winner at it right now. Like this is like Tommy Sheehan level types of stuff, like that. Easy to find out. If it keeps going like this for her, she's gonna win. And Sammy's kind of sneaky. He's. I think the only downside with Sammy is I could also see him getting like blindsided in the pre-merge as for Ellie. Yeah. I don't see that. I could definitely see that for Sammy. Like not like right away, like maybe late pre-merge if things go awry.
Ellie versus Sammy.
Yeah, especially if that tribe goes to tribal council almost every single time.
If that tribe gets to 3, I mean, you're getting risky there. I mean, you're getting real risky. So.
And I think the final 3 of that tribe would probably be Sammy, Janine, and Ellie, right? It'd probably be that.
No,
either that Mike. No. It's either Janine, Sammy, and Ellie, or it's Ellie, Sammy, and Mike. I think Mike is more common, and I think at that point, I actually don't think Sammy and Ellie go. I think actually they team up and go for Mike, the person who they feel like is more of a doofus.
I don't know, man. Because
that'd be not smart for both.
Yeah,
of them,
that would not be smart for both of them. Because why would she get rid of Mike?
I could see that though.
Hold on. But it's kind of like how like in the pre-merge when like they're like faced with going to Roxanne and they always say, well, no, it's not worth risking it. let's just both work together. We can get out Mike. It's so easy.
Well, you
Let's
wouldn't have
just
to go
both
with Raj. You
merge.
just go.
Yeah, we don't have to go to
Sammy
Rocks,
and Mike vote out Ellie.
No. I'm not saying anyone. It's 3 people. How are you gonna go to Rocks? That makes no sense. No,
exactly.
Exactly. The
No,
point
that's what I'm saying. Is like exactly you can't go to Rocks.
right.
So they
The
should
point
just
that
vote
I'm
out.
making. Point that I'm making is that in that spot, they may say, hey, it's not worth one of us thinking that Mike's with us and he's not. We could just come together and get out Mike ourselves. It's less risk. It's not worth it during the pre-merge. That's the comparison I was making to the Rocks.
I just don't see that happening. I think it's really stupid for neither of them to not keep Mike around. And honestly, like, who knows if Mike is even there still at 3.
That she has Mike.
Yeah, I see Ellie would be the one to recommend voting out Mike.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. It's really come down to Sammy making the choice.
And I think overall, I just think Ellie comes out of that tribe on top. That's why I wrote 1 and not 2. As well as like who even knows what's gonna happen. Like Owen might be pissed off next episode that no one told him, and he freaking go after Sammy and something might work. I don't know. I just see more of a like Ellie not being blindsided. I could definitely see Sammy being blindsided. At the end of the day, I still think very highly of Sammy right now. I have him at 2, and I have Ellie at 1.
Okay. I definitely do see Owen's gonna be the one to take his shot at Sammy. That's gonna be his biggest hump to get over.
Yeah.
Before the merge is over.
They're working together, but yeah, I agree. But by the end of the pre-merge, especially if they go even 2 more times total during the pre-merge, it's going to end up being Ellie and Sammy at some point, and they're either going to just not get to each other because they have an ally that they can sacrifice, or they have to go for each other, and it'd be pretty epic.
Yeah, I see all 3, Mike, Sammy, and Ellie all making it to the merge.
Agreed.
I think so too. I don't necessarily think that tribe goes down to 2 people like Ua, but just saying if it did, yeah, definitely.
Agreed.
All right. So for my 1 and 2, my number 2 is Sammy, and then my 1 is NECA. Still trying to keep NECA as she has that kind of edit where like she got a little something, but like she'll come on later on in the season. I definitely saw that as a possibility. Sammy, I would have him at 1. He's just the kind of player where he needs to be in control. I don't see him being someone who can easily.
I disagree. I just don't. I think there's a different way to say it. I get what you mean. Like, he needs to be in the know, but that's different than needing to be in control of a vote. Shan needs to be in control of the vote.
Yeah. It's not what I mean. It's like, I don't mean like he needs to be a mafioso, but he's more of a Tony type where he has to be like he's always on the go with like needing to make a plan. And I don't see like he wants the plan to end up being what he wanted is what I'm trying to say.
Agreed.
So I could see that being hard for him at the merge where he has to, if he's down in numbers, have to join other people. And it's harder for a big, strong guy to like do that strategy of jumping to other people without them being like, okay, now it's time to get rid of Sammy, you know? Because look at Xander did it for so long before, and then for some reason they stopped caring about him because they thought he wasn't a threat, which was weird. But realistically, you'd be like, okay, there's only so many times they keep working with this obvious threat in Sammy, time to get rid of him. So if he's the kind of guy I see that usually, not that he can't, I'm not saying he can't do this, but I think he usually would need a loyal group of people with him. But
agreed.
So if he keeps losing tribe members, it's going to be harder to get that loyal group.
Cool. I agree with everything you just said.
And for NECA as number 1, I think it could be, you know, she does seem like she could be like very threatening. I think she needs the Jesse. She needs another person though. I don't think she can definitely not run this by herself. She's not like a Sandra who can fall like backwards into a win. I think she needs to get there through strategy with, you know, like Denise and Malcolm or, you know, Steven, Taj kind of thing. And then hopefully she can pull off where at the end she can actually make it to the, you know, final 3.
Okay.
It is well, I mean, is there anything else you guys want to do before we go over to your guys' universe?
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
First thing I have to ask is what's going on over there in the Skylander universe?
So I'm either posting that vlog I talked about later today, or on Monday. So there's that about me going to the Dallas Cowboys game where we beat the Bengals. Let's go. L. Bengals are frauds. And then as well on my other channel, Surviving, I have a video that's actually going up in like, at the time of recording this, it's 11:28 for me. It's going up in like 32 minutes. And I think it's called Survivor 43 has already set the bar extremely low, and it's just kind of like a review of episode 1. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Cool. What's going on in the Bitter universe?
I'm hoping to have a video out by the Wednesday, the day of Survivor. Before that, I would say don't get your hopes up, and if it does happen, be pleasantly surprised.
Hey,
there you go. Because I know for a fact that my audience is aching for one of your famous videos. I am as well. I gotta say, guys, we I feel like this podcast was fun. I feel like we have a good idea of what's going to go on with this cast. I hope we're wrong about some things, right about some things. People who think that we just want to hate the season is not the case. We just hate the season sometimes. This season seems to be pretty mediocre right now. Hopefully it heats up. Again, none of this happens without you guys. Without you guys, we're just weird guys speaking into weird microphones. So as always, thank you. Like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And that's what I'll talk to you guys in the next one.